And James Moore is Canada's Heritage Minister. James, we had actor Eric Peterson on a few moments ago. He's very upset with what you said while he was in the observation gallery. I'm wondering what you'd like to say to him about your comments.
Well, look, of course, we believe in supporting the arts. We believe in supporting culture, and I certainly would congratulate him on the honor that he's going to receive on Saturday night at the Governor General's Performing Arts Awards. You know, it's possible for people, I think, in our country to disagree on arts policy, but both still be big, strong advocates of the arts. As you know, I've crisscrossed this country for the past 5 years as Heritage Minister, promoting and supporting the arts. We've delivered record funding for the Canada Council for the Arts. We have 2 new national museums, a third one that we're going to create with the Canadian History Museum. Our budget this year was supported by the Canada Council for the Arts, the Canada Arts Coalition. It was supported by cultural organizations across the country. So, you know, we've delivered for the arts, and we continue to. We're proud of our artists, and we can have disagreements on policy and still be champions for the arts.
But James Moore, do you think you might owe a bit of an apology, maybe not to Tyrone Benskin as an MP, but certainly the performing arts winners that were in the gallery seem to find your comments a little out of line?
No, look, it's question period. It's the time of the day where we actually stand up in the House and we remind each other why we disagree on policy items. And this policy that the NDP has put forward, that Tyrone Benskin put forward, the idea of income averaging for artists, is just wrong-headed. It's just a bad idea. The idea that you should have special tax breaks for artists because they have good years and bad years and you should average out their salaries over multiple years. The idea that you should do that for artists, but you shouldn't do it, say, for real estate agents or insurance salesmen or nurses who provide home services who might actually lose some income when times get tough. The idea that you would single out one part of the population and not others for the special tax treatment, I think, is unfair, and I don't think it's the best interest of Canadians. So we can disagree on that. We can disagree on income averaging for artists, but still be supporters of the arts. And look, as you know, Don, you're an observer of Question Period every day. They wouldn't be the first people to leave Question Period unimpressed with what they see on the floor of the House of Commons. So I don't take it personally. It's fine. I spoke with all the recipients of the Governor General's Performing Arts Awards after Question Period to wish them well, in spite of what they may or may not have liked in Question Period.
Eric Peterson and you have a chat at all, or was he one of the ones you didn't get the chance to talk to?
Yeah, he was there. Sarah Pauly was there. Danielle Lanois was there. All 8 of them were there. It was a great reception, and I spoke and I certainly wish them well. Look, we do believe in supporting the arts. We have to support the arts in this country. We're the second largest country in the world, but 34th largest in population. What unites us as a country is language, the arts, culture, the ability to understand our shared history. And artists in this country are people who are the most known around the world, the people who we're most proud of, whether it's Christopher Plummer or if it's Danielle Lanois and others who do incredible things around the world to make us proud. Great actors in film and television, our musicians, and so we believe in supporting the arts, supporting culture, but we can disagree on specific policy items and still be believers in the arts, which is in fact the case in this matter.
See, James Moore, you have a reputation as a class act in the House from all sides, and I just sort of wonder, do you really think Tyrone Benskin was putting forward this bill just to bail himself out of his tax problems?
Well, I think it's a pretty self-evident conflict of interest. It's a conflict of interest for any member of Parliament to put forward legislation from which you would directly personally benefit and financially benefit. So I think it's a pretty self-evident conflict of interest, and to point that out is something that we've done before, and I think it's a legitimate point to raise in the House of Commons, particularly when the whole track of Question Period over the past couple of weeks, as you know, has been the issue of people in public office acting honorably and respecting taxpayers' dollars. This legislation is bad in substance because it actually is unfair to Canadian taxpayers, and also I think the conflict of interest is pretty clear. So I think it's a relevant point of debate, and we'll continue to make that point.
Do you find it disquieting that the Prime Minister's former Director of Communications, Dimitri Soudis, while he was serving in that capacity, was owing taxes to the same province, back taxes, albeit he's paid them back now? Do you find that a problem?
It's always a problem. Look, everybody should pay their taxes. Everybody has to obey the law, and everybody has to respect the law. But the conflict of interest in this private member's bill is something that I've pointed out many times. Yesterday wasn't the first time. We should all pay our taxes, and we should all respect the law and make sure that we all pay our fair share, which, by the way, is also part of why I don't agree with this particular bill. I believe in supporting artists. I believe in supporting culture in this country. But giving a special tax break to artists because they have good years and bad years and averaging it out is unfair to other Canadians who face face that same dynamic. As I said, real estate agents, insurance salesmen, people who sell cars, people who have boom and bust dynamics in their professional lives. Why should they be treated differently from artists? I think it's an unfair advantage and it's a bad policy. We should support our other artists in other ways, and our government is. We're the only country in the G8, to increase funding for the arts is the government of Stephen Harper, and we're very proud of that record.
Last question is a little off topic, but you announced the lineup for Canada Day, and one of them is that Chris Hadfield, the astronaut, will be performing. Give me a quick preview. Are we going to see him actually singing with his infamous guitar?
You will. Actually, he will be singing. It's a great Canada Day lineup. Marie-May from Quebec. People outside Quebec don't know who Marie-May is. I saw her perform at the Festival d'été in Quebec, the Quebec City Summer Festival. She's fantastic, great energy. And of course, Carly Rae Jepsen, a good BC girl, she's going to be performing. Terry Clark is going to sing a country song. Northern Girl, if you haven't heard that song, is one of the songs she's going to play. And yeah, Chris Hadfield, Commander Chris Hadfield, back from the International Space Station. He's going to be there, and he's going to sing. He's actually going to sing with a choir from Ottawa. It's going to be a special moment. So I hope everybody tunes in and enjoys the show.
All right. Sounds like a great out-of-this-world lineup. Thanks very much, James Moore. Appreciate it.
All right, Don. Take care.